Hey folks, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by again. I really appreciate it. I probably sound like a broken record every time. Not only does this Springsteen come up in general, but this particular song, as I truly think it's one of his best. And really couldn't appreciate it until a little bit older because One Step Up off of the Tunnel of Love album, Tunnel of Love '87. I was 14 at the time. The meaning doesn't really resonate with you until you're a little bit older at that point, basically. So, but not only that, but just super duper simple, super duper, I haven't used that term in a while, super duper simple chord progression using basic chord structure. G shape, D shape, but I put that bass in there because you'll see how we walk this bass up in an E minor shape. And then there's one more chord thrown in there, and it can make it as simple as you want, whether it's an A or an A7. But that's the whole song. So if you can kind of just play those chords or you're working on those chords, this is a song you can start working on. And again, when I call these out, I'm going with the chord shapes, not the actual chord names, because it is a G shape, but in reality it's a B flat because of where the capo is in relation to the fretboard and all that. So keep that in mind. So we're just going to call out the shapes to keep it simple. Okay. All right. So if you haven't done so, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really love having all you here checking out these videos. So I won't bore you too much longer. Let's get into this one. One Step Up, Bruce Springsteen off the Tunnel of Love album. Here we go. All right, so let's just kind of dive right into this one. One Step Up, Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel of Love album. Again, G shape. Again, shapes. G shape, D shape with that F sharp in the bass here. Second fret, 6th string to an E minor. All right. And we can just, simply we can strum it. Alright, so let's look at this two different ways. Number one, simple, super easy way, super duper. That's the word for this video, right? Let's play the G shape. But what we're doing is we are taking our pinky off of that high E string. So it's ringing out, okay? That string is ringing out right there. First string is ringing out right here, okay? So play the G shape, take our pinky off of that, so. And that E note, that open E string really kind of makes the whole song, all right? And then we're going to the D shape. Same thing, we're gonna play a D. Keep that bass note here is important. And look, this is how I play it. I just kind of wrap my thumb across it. Other people do it different ways. This is how it's always worked for me. Again, open E though, to the E minor, and that E string is already automatically open for you there, okay? If we just want to strum it, and I'll get into the picking pattern that I do in about 30 seconds, but if we're gonna just strum it, and that up I'm accenting is really you're hitting that open E. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right. All right, see how we're doing this here? That's your strumming. So it's really 4 chords we're working with here. The G to the D. Okay, to the E minor. Back to that D. So a total of 4 chords, okay, in that order. And then as far as the picking pattern, look, I do it different every time I play it. So I'm trying to. So it's going to be 6th string, 6, 5, 4. And that open string is my 4th note. And I just kind of right up, I come right up the strings after that. Okay? All right, so 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd, to the 4th string. Right? And then I'm just going to switch it to the D shape. And I think the strings are the exact same picking pattern. the E minor. Right? Back to that D. And the bass notes are important because if you're just listening for the bass notes, all right, that is 95% of your song right there. So if the picking pattern doesn't work, just strum it. Because honestly, the strumming piece of it's going to come in at the bridge. You with me so far? This is pretty straightforward, okay? So that's your intro, that's your verse, okay? It's even going to be your chorus for the most part, I guess. Right, we keep. Right. And then there's gonna be a quick change. And I'm trying to think what the lyric is around it, and I'm drawing a blank on it. Where along the lines I slipped off track. Hold that G. One step up, and it's going to go to an A7, or even an A. So that whole turnaround is going to be, and everything repeats at that point. That's really it, okay? So don't overthink it. So it's, again, moving one step. That's the line. All right, repeats the whole song, basically. The bridge, it's the same thing, but just for dynamic purposes, we're going to start strumming it. And you got to remember, there's more going on here in this song. There's some other instruments. We're doing for solo acoustic, so we're doing this just so that way if you want to sing it solo, whatever you want to do, it'll work. But we're going to just strum the bridge. It's the same thing night on night. Who's wrong? Continues. And it's going to be. And then when you get back to that last, I think it's the last word of the bridge, we're going to go right back into the picking. Come. Oh. Right? So that's the song. I mean, it's really straightforward. Make it as difficult or easy as you want, but those are the chords. I'm telling you, I don't believe Bruce plays these chords like this. I've seen several videos, even like the official video, and whether he's just kind of ghosting some chords here to make it look like he's playing. I don't think I've seen him play it exactly like this, but this is how I've done it, especially in the Springsteen tribute band I've been in, and it goes over well. So enjoy it. Pretty straightforward. Let me know if you have any other Bruce requests. I'm going to be doing a lot with Bruce this year. And just, you know, I'm going to try to complete some of the albums that I started. In particular, Born to Run and Wild and Innocent. I've got songs out for a lot of them, but I think I'm going to continue it and try to get all the songs for those albums and see what happens. So, we'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping by. See you later. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. I'm Richie. This is Six String Fun. So, going to be going back to an older video I did probably 3-4 years ago. One of the first ones here on the channel. And looking back on it, I was wrong. I know, Rich, how can you be wrong, right? It happens. So, I had about 95% of this song, and considering it's a Springsteen song and I got it wrong is really sad in a way. But going over some things just recently. There is, if you know the song, number one, Waiting on a Sunny Day, Bruce Springsteen, Off the Rising, 2002. The song changes key several times. It goes to, there's a key of C, it goes to D, comes back to C, then it goes to E, and I thought that's where it ended, but it doesn't. There is another key at the very end it goes to, where it modulates. So we're going to go over that. It's a fairly straightforward song if you can kind of play some basic chords, and the structure remains the same almost the entire song, with the exception of a few variations here and there. But even though there's several key changes, I started off on C, or at that particular C. I had the pinky on there. We don't want that. The structure is basically, it's the 1, the 6, which is the minor, relative minor, your 4, back to the 1, to the 5. And that continues throughout the entire song. So let's take a closer look at this one, Waiting on a Sunny Day by Bruce Springsteen. We'll go through all of it. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Like I said, a couple little things here and there, just where it doesn't quite stick to that progression we just went over. But you'll see that this is pretty straightforward. You've got one bar chord in there. I think it's only one. Maybe two, actually. There's two now because of the change I'm going to be talking about. You got a B minor and an F sharp minor. Okay? But it's straightforward. All right, so let's take a closer look at this one, Waiting on a Sunny Day, Bruce Springsteen. Here we go. So as I mentioned, it starts off in the key of C. So for this first part of the song, and I say first part, it's going to go intro, first verse, first chorus, second verse, second chorus. I believe that's the entire part of it right there. It'll be a C. So on the 5th string, 3, 2, open, 1, open. To the 6, which is the A minor, open, 2, 2, 1, open. Here's actually another bar chord. Sorry about that. An F. So it's going to be 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. And then there's a G in here. 3, 2, open, open, 1, 1. Sounded very nice like that. And then the strumming pattern is going to stay pretty much the same throughout the entire song. Down, 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 up, up. Down, 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 up. All right? And then we're just going to pop in, whatever you want to say, the chords. So the first chord is going to be the C. To the A minor. To that F. Back to the C. To the G. So all together. Back to the 1, to the G, in this case, which is the 5. Okay? You get that pattern down, you've got the song basically, okay? That's going to continue, like I said, intro, your verse, your chorus, your second verse, your second chorus. Saxophone solo is where we're going to get our first modulation. It goes to D. We're following the same progression though. 1 to the 6. Okay. To the 4. Got it. To the 1. To the 5. And after that's going to change up a little bit, but let's just play this part of it again. Just like the beginning, we're just changing the key. And it's going to be D. So it's going to be open on the 4th string. Open 2, 3, 2 for your D. The B minor is going to be on the 5th fret. 5th string on the 2nd fret. It'll be 2, 3, 3, 2. No, I'm sorry. 2, 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. Okay. To that G, which is going to be, we already know. To the A, which is going to be on the 5th string. Open, 2, 2, 2, open. That's like Run Around Sue right there. somewhere like that, but I think those are the same chords. Anyway, so we've got that. So let's play that piece of the progression. Now this key we're only doing one time around, okay? So after that A, the 5, we are going to the E. So it's more like a transition piece now where he's going to try to get back into the key of C. So we go E to the G, and we're holding that G, I think it's for 2 measures. All together. B minor, no, that's not how it goes. D, B minor, to the G. Here we go. To the D, to the A, E, G. And you can, if you're doing the solo acoustic, you can hold that G as long as you want. All right. Then we're going to go back into the original key, which is the C. And that's going to continue on for the good part of the song. The outro is where we're going to actually have 2 key changes in addition to what we've just done. We've been to the key of C. We've been to the key of D. Now it's off to the land of E. All right? The same progression though. The 1, which is your E, open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. A C sharp minor. On the 4th fret we're starting. 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. Okay? And then you've got the A, open, 2, 2, 2, open. Back to the E. To the B, another bar chord. Yeah, there's bar chords everywhere in this song. 2, 4, 4, 4. And then you've got the 2 there. Alright? So let's play that progression now. Again, this is coming out, this is the outro now. Saxophone solo, I believe, is being played here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be played once or twice now that I'm thinking about this, that progression, but there will be, I think it's only once. There's going to be another key change on the as we continue to go out. We're going to the land of A on this one. So it's A, open, 2, 2, 2, open, and F sharp minor, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, to the D, which we already know, to the B, to the E. All right, it's a little bit different there, but that's how that progression is going to be. So if we do that outro all together with the 2 different key changes, we'll start on E. Change. And like all of us here in the Northeast, we've been waiting on a sunny day. We get an eclipse today, though, so that'll be interesting in a few hours. So, but that's the song. I don't know of any other songs where you've got almost 4 different keys played in the same song, unless your band starts with or sounds like Rush or Dream Theater. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but I don't know of any other songs that do that. But really straightforward. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed this one. I like it a lot. It can be very monotonous when you're strumming it. Right? But it's a catchy one. It's a fun one. Anytime we've played it live in the Springsteen cover band I was in, it went over well. So hopefully this helped you out there. But it's very straightforward. And also it's a good lesson on just learning the intervals within a scale. The 1, the 6, the 4, the 5, all that good stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications. That's a huge help, believe it or not. You might think it's not a big deal, but it is in terms of getting this video and other videos out there to other people to see. Alright, so if you didn't figure that one out yet, we are doing New York City Serenade by Springsteen off the second album, Wild the Innocent, the E Street Shuffle. That album and the first album, Greetings, to me, are very, very different. You have different band members, basically. You don't have Max Weinberg. You've got Vinny Mad Dog Lopez on the drums, and you've got David Sanchez on the piano. And there's no Little Steven at this point yet. So, very different type of band. Not saying they were better or not as good, but just a very different band, different vibe. And it really shows, not only on this song, but this whole side of this record. Incident, Rosie, and New York City Serenade. So, and as far as I can tell, New York City Serenade might be the longest recorded song in his catalog. It clocks in at just under 10 minutes. But it's deceiving because you've got a lot of piano and intro in the build-up. It's about 2 minutes before the vocals come in, so there's a lot going on there. So we're going to jump into this one, and despite all the piano and everything that you're hearing on the song, break it down to just a handful of chords, and you can do it on the acoustic guitar. Capo on the second fret to put it in the key of the album, which is A. I don't know. For me, I prefer not using the capo when I played this live with some folks. I think it sounds better. You can use a harmonica with it. Not that you can't use it in the A key. It's just personal preference. But if you want to hear a different side to this song, look for a version by Pete Yorn. He does it in the key of G, no capo. Solo acoustic for the most part with some harmonica. Fantastic version. I'll see if I can put a link and find it in the description for you. But let's jump into this one. New York City Serenade, Bruce Springsteen, Wild the Innocent, E Street Shuffle. 73, I think, right around that time frame. So let's take a look at it. Again, the chords we're using, pretty straightforward. G shape, and I'm calling out the shapes. G shape, E minor, A minor, C. That's most of your song right there. And then there's a D that comes in, at different points. And to me, that D is probably the most important chord, believe it or not, I think, in this song. So let's jump into it. The pick was excited to get going. So let's go. All right, we'll get right into this one. New York City Serenade, Bruce Springsteen, off the Wild the Innocent, the E Street Shuffle. Great piece of music, in my opinion. Probably one of his best. Debatable, I'm sure, with a lot of you, but to me, this album was fantastic. And it probably didn't get the notoriety it should have until after the whole Born to Run success, if you ask me, in Darkness, that time frame. So, because people probably went back to the catalog at that point. But very successful in the Northeast at that time. Between New York and Philly, Baltimore, for sure, Boston. So, let's just take a look at this. We're going to just strip it down. 5 chords for this song, okay? Really, 5 chords, believe it or not. G, again, capo's on the second fret because that's the way the song was written. This is the key it is on the album, so you can play along to it. If you're doing something solo acoustic and you want to take it off, go for it. You're going to keep the same chord shape. So we'll keep it simple. I will call out these chords as the shape, not necessarily the key that we're in, okay? So G shape, E minor shape, A minor shape, C shape, and then later on we're going to throw a D in there. I mentioned this before. This D chord is the game changer in the song, in my opinion. And you're probably thinking, why? To me, if you play it right and know how to play it, you'll see what I mean, all right? So guitar-wise, nothing happens for like 2 minutes. There's a lot of David Sanchez just kind of riffing on the piano, some jazz stuff, some blues stuff, a little bit of everything in there. And then you hear him kind of get more into the rhythm of this song. And then as he goes around a couple times, you'll start to hear the guitar coming in. Right? And that just kind of continues to build at this point. All right. So it's going to be G, E minor, right? A minor to a C. And for me, the strumming pattern will be this for these chords. E minor's there, A minor, C, one more time, and the G to the E minor, to the A minor, to the C. All right? That's your intro, and you can throw that as long as you want, stretch it out as long as you want, and it's going to be the verse. Right? Sitting low in the backseat. I've never sang this song, you can tell, but that's kind of how it goes. All right? And you're going to go over, and now it varies every time they're in the song how many times you're playing that 4-chord progression, okay? But the first change that you're going to hear is kind of like that pre-chorus, and it goes to an A minor, to an E minor. All right, so if we're coming out of that, let's just say, all right, getting ready for that change. Jackie's heels static. Billy's got beats on his boot. So we're just going A minor to E minor there. Ba 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 ba. Together gonna, I think it's the verse, the piece there. And come back with the loop. Now, as you're doing that progression, that A minor to E minor, the other change is coming, and you're gonna go from A minor, it's gonna go to a C. All right, it'll sound like this, I think. So let's do this twice. Throwing twice out there for the sake of it. Quick change to the C, to the D, and I'll throw a suspended in there, suspended fourth. So go. And that progression is going to continue. And you're going back into the verse at this point, okay? So real simple. And this, if you can play that, you can do the whole song, okay? It's just a matter of knowing where these changes are because the lyrics are so stretched out, basically. All right? We're going to continue this, and we're going to go back into, I guess, that last verse, right? Continues. We already know this. Back into. And you'll notice as I'm doing this for some of these chords, I'm putting on hammers and pulls, and I'm kind of arpeggiating these chords. I'm just doing it to make it sound a little bit fuller, and not just... I'm kind of playing to the music, I'm playing to the song, and I'm just making it my own. And here comes that D chord I was telling you about that I think makes this song what it is. You can tell me I'm crazy, it's fine, okay? At the very end, the last time we're playing this D chord, it just kind of punctuates the entire song, and it's going to go back into that final chorus, basically, okay? But he hangs on this D chord for quite a while, and the dynamics are awesome, because you can come in on D, he hangs on, some hammers and pulls, we're going to slow it down. So, and that's how the song basically goes out at that point. It's a couple minutes, I think, of just playing that progression, but it's going to build up, and then it's going to come back down. So, and the vocal line there, he's singing, and then it's just you start bringing it back down. Start hearing the strings, which aren't really strings as far as I remember. The band did something different. It wasn't like a whole string section there, and it wasn't certainly a Casio keyboard that you can patch it into. I forget how they did it, but the band somehow got that string sound going, and it just kind of fades away. Continues. And I'm just arpeggiating strings here. I'm just kind of going, like I'm just kind of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that second one. So I guess if you want to count it off the way I'm doing it, that first note I'm hitting the root, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when I go 1 again, I'm coming up on that first string, the high E string. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that guitar goes slow, and that's what makes the song from here. The guitar just kind of fades away, and you've got that string section going, that sound, and it just kind of fades off. And the next thing that you're going to hear, if you're going chronologically, is Thunder Road off of Born to Run. So think about that for a second. So think about that stretch of 4 songs produced by somebody. New York City Serenade, Incident, Rosie, New York City Serenade, and the next thing you're going to hear on the album is Thunder Road. That's pretty wild. So, hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Later, guys. What's up, everyone? I'm Richie. This is Six String Fun. We are going deep into the Springsteen catalog again for this one. And I say deep, it's one of the more recent ones within the last 20 years. But deep, because I don't think many people know about it unless you're a Springsteen fan. And it is Girls in Their Summer Clothes from the Magic album. So we're going to take a look at that one. Good tune. We're getting to the spring-summer season, so I figure it's kind of a good way to just get going with some of these other songs I haven't done. This is a new one for me. Cool song. It kind of has a droning effect. And there's strings and some other things going on that are kind of on top of the guitar at times. So we're going to keep it real simple. I'm putting the capo on the 5th fret to try to avoid as many bar chords as possible. But I think whether you're capo or not capo, you're going to have some bar chords no matter what. In this particular case, we're going to have an F. And if you weren't using the capo, I think you got a B flat somewhere. But we're in the key of the album, so we're good with that. You can play along to it. So I'm going to be calling these out by their shape. So a G, a C, D, E minor, all that stuff. And thank you again. Appreciate everyone who's been along for the ride. And one of the best ways you can help support the channel, if you like this video and you truly do, hit the like button, share it, because once you see it, it'll then go out to some other folks that might have an interest in this type of thing we're doing here. The other thing is I do have a merchandise shop here. I know, shameful plug, but it's for a good reason. I want you to hear this. I've got some shirts there, and portions of the proceeds for what I'm selling there are going to an animal rescue down in South Carolina where we got Kona, and that's Kona right there. And this is one of the shirts. So I call it the Kona guitar shirt. Pretty cool. I mean, Kona really almost does look like that exactly. So I put that together. So if you have an interest, go to the everything's in the description, sixstringfun.com/shop. You can get this, and there's a couple other shirts there, but this one in particular has the dog on it. It's the Kona dog shirt. But the shirts, portions of the proceeds for the shirts are going to Mercy Rescue down in South Carolina. So we're going to help them out. That's where we got Kona. I think it's a great thing to do. Everyone can use a little help these days. So, all right, how many guitar players? All right, one guitar player to hang up a shirt. We're good to go. Let's take a look at this one. Girls in Their Summer Clothes by Bruce Springsteen. So as I mentioned, capo on 5. We're going to be using just some basic chords, G, C, and there's a D in there, there's an E minor, and then as we go along, there's a couple other changes going on, but you don't have to worry about that until we at least get to the bridge. All right. So strumming pattern, it's I can kind of hear the strings in my head. So it's really 4 counts of 4, however the proper way to say that. So 1, 2, so bum 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 bum. And that should be 4 or 4 right there, and then we're going to change it to a C. So the intro is pretty straightforward. And then you're going right into the chorus at this point, okay? Excuse me, the verse. So it comes in basically on the G, just like we were playing. So it kind of drags in a way, but it's a constant. So bum 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 bum. So it's gonna go G, C, back to the G, to a D. Second part of the verse, we're going to start the same G to a C, and then we're going to hit that D for 2 measures. So that's your verse right there. These are the chords. I'm kind of just cutting this in half. And then so there's your verse, okay? That'll repeat twice. And then we're going to go into the chorus. The chorus, we're just going to start on the C this time. And the girls in the summer clothes. So C, G, C, G. And you can see I'm playing the G like this, where I got my index finger open if I want to. Just to kind of add a suspended note there. But, 3, 2, open, 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 3. And then when I go to the C, I play the C shape. My pinky's still on that first fret, on that first string sometimes. C, pass me by. So those are your chords. So it's going to be C, G. So the chorus will be, and the girls in the summer clothes, and the ba-ba-da-da-da. Girls in the summer clothes, pass me by. All right, so you got intro, the verse, the chorus. We're going to go back to the verse now. So verse number 2, just repeat what we did. Come back to chorus number 2. Repeat what we just did here. We get into the bridge. Here comes the F chord. All right, so it's going to be F to the C. All right, so we come out of the chorus. It'll be a bridge. again, to a C. Then we go to E minor, to a D, to the G, to the C. Repeat it again. F, C, to E minor, to the D, and then a quick change to the C, D. So back to the verse. Okay, that's your bridge there. The verse now gets a little. From this point on, there's a couple things happening where we're gonna play an odd. There's a raised note here on the root on the D shape. You'll see this. All right, so we go to the chorus. Or excuse me, the verse. We're gonna repeat it again. So it's an odd thing to do. So we're going from a D, and we're raising that root basically. So I don't know if that makes it augmented. I have no idea, honestly. So we're going to go, there's your root. So open on the 4th string, 1st fret on the 4th string. To visually see it, if I'm playing a D here, here's the D here, okay? So I'm just taking this root, and I'm raising it here. Everything else stays the same. When you hear that odd thing, you know, the modulation basically, that's what it is. Or you can do it here. All right, and you're going to hear that a few times. And then we kind of come out of that last verse when it comes. And usually as you're playing that D, when you raise it, that next chord is going to be an E minor. It's kind of, I guess that's the natural progression. To a C, to a G, to the D, to a C, to a G, C, D. All right. Song. It does kind of get dicey there at the end, but those are the chords, those are the parts. So listen to it, and when you hear that modulation, that's what that is. You're going from the D, raising it. I'm going to do it here. But that's what it's going to be. All right, so hopefully that helped you out. Thanks for checking this video out. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Later, folks.